Hey Groovers, so let's talk about this free creative workshop that I'm doing this Saturday. I'm actually doing this for two different reasons. The first one, which I probably think is actually one of the biggest ones, is because creativity and actually playing around with it, doing it, throwing yourself into it is such a huge part of your overall healthcare maintenance routine, the way that the body works. The body has very specific parts of its brain and its body that are designed to be optimized and function at a really high rate with creativity. And when you actually do specific creative projects that you love, it actually sets up this whole chain of events that happens throughout your body mind complex. Everything from the nervous system shifting into parasympathetic state, so it goes nice and calm and chilled, and you just have a great time, to the brain actually is able to see and identify healing processes that it needs to take place in your body and can prioritize those and can run those. So when things are calmer and they're happier, it has a better ability to be able to do that job. Not to mention the fact that you have all these great hormones that are getting produced and they're flooding into the body. Then it's a chance for you and I just to share the same space where you can come and ask me questions. It doesn't have to be questions about the workshop, about felting, about any other creative pursuits. You can ask me anything about healthcare, about body talk, about consciousness, about business, about motherhood, whatever, it doesn't matter. So we can really open up the floor and just have a good chat about absolutely everything and anything. And the other reason is because it's getting towards that time of the year where I have really been thinking about the people that are in my life who I really love and I want to give some gifts to. And depending on who that person is, I actually will make something and gift it on. I don't do it to everyone because not everyone has the same appreciation for art and creativity, but a lot of people do. So I'm actually in the process of making custom made, individualized drinker coasters for quite a few members of my family. And I'll just be tapping into their personality and their energy and what they like and everything like that and making them a custom drink holder. You can use it for other things as well, but it just serves itself really well to have, you know, your favorite drink resting on something that's just so beautiful. And then you can reuse it over and over again. It's designed to last. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But I thought I'd share you a few other projects whilst we're going to be going along at the same time. And I got asked by quite a few people yesterday what tools I'm going to be using, what supplies I'm going to have. Look, I don't want you to get wrapped up in the fact that you might not have some of these. It's really, really okay. I'm going to leave the workshop that we do in this space so that you can come back to it and watch it over and over again. If when we go through and we do the workshop, you don't have the tools and supplies at the time, or maybe you just have a few of them, that's okay. We can make do and use what you've got. That's what I always do. And I, by all means, have not gone to any extravagant expense. I buy everything on the cheap. I love the $2 shops because you can get everything that you need from there at little cost whatsoever. And it just, you can come out with a product that looks absolutely amazing. So I definitely have not gone down the expensive route on any of it, okay? Let me show you the supplies that I'm going to be using tomorrow that you may or might not have lying around. And I'll be going through these again on Saturday. So it's Saturday, 24th, 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is Queensland time, and it's in this group, the My Incredible Orbit group. So if I'm showing this video outside of that group, and if you're not part of that group, then you need to jump over and become part of it. There's no prerequisites. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to do this free workshop. So it's just fun for all. Plus, the other reason is that it's November, and November is represented by the 11th house. And one of the flavors or the archetypal qualities in the 11th house is creativity. And I was actually facilitating a group session for the My Incredible Orbit membership the other day, and I was always going to do this creative felting workshop, but I was going to do it in December. And it came up as a priority to really capitalize on the fact that we're working with creative energies in November anyway. A lot of people go into that natural process of wanting to create and plan and strategize things naturally. So we need to harness that. So I'm actually bringing the workshop forward instead of leaving it in December. Okay. So this is actually just a few little pieces of the felting wool that I'll be using. I actually get a whole bunch off a website that I source. Every now and then I'll buy some from places like Spotlight. They come in little packets. This is merino wool. Yeah. And I actually get a great big long roll that's a natural color, which I'll show on Saturday, and I dye it, and I'll explain that process as well. It gives me a lot more scope. This is actually just pieces of polymer clay, and they come in packets like this, and that was one that I picked up yesterday because it was on sale really cheap, like $2.50, something like that. There's another one that I've got, so you roll it out. It's a bit hard to work with to start off with. You make it nice and warm, you roll it out, you can cut it into shapes using a knife. You're just using your hand and molding it. I've actually got cookie cutters that I use for felting and for the polymer clay. So you can use cookie cutters. I'll do like they do in the makeup ones. But can you see? Oh. And you can cut them out, put them in the oven, fire them up. And then what I do is I poke a little hole in the top, and then it becomes part of a mobile or a wind chime thing. Okay, so I'm going to show you one of those because I'm going to be taking you through how to do it on Saturday. So this is actually one that I made, hangs up in my house, and I've made a few like these over the time. Sits in front of a big pair of double windows, and so catches the breeze beautifully. And it's basically just made out of stars and love hearts, and I've used the cookie cutters and I've used polymer clay on that as well. So that's polymer clay. The rest of these are felted pieces that I felted and that I've cut out. So I'll show you how to do those. Okay. I'm going to have a little pair of scissors with me on Saturday. I'm going to have one of these. You don't need one of these, but this has the felting needles that are 3, and you can adjust it and take one out and only have 2, or you can have 1. They're really good for doing bigger projects, saves time. You can get through a lot of your project really, really quickly. This is where I have all the single needles. You can pick these up from craft stores, Spotlight if you're in Australia. They come in packs of 20. You can also order them offline. So again, I'll go through all this information with you. They've got barbs on them, so they help you push it through the piece that you're working on. I'm going to have little bits of, these are felted mats. They come in a big piece like this, really, really cheap. And then I just chop it into either squares or rounds. It's going to be my drink coaster. So this is actually an example of the drink coaster I'm going to take you through. This is one that I've made. This is another one that I've made. This is the one that I use all the time. This is one that I've just finished off really, really recently. And I'm actually going to show you, there's got 3 different layers in it for structure, for longevity, so that you can wash it, and just so because it completes a project and then makes it look really, really pretty, and it's nice to hand over. So that's that one. It's got a nice backing on it. The edge is finished. You can do that by hand. You can do it on a sewing machine. I'm going to show you how. This is another one that I'm going to show you how to make. It's just like a little plaque. Kids can hang it off their door. You can take this same concept and actually put it into a lot of different uses and for a lot of different ages of people as well. So you can have them to hang on your front door or in the kitchen. You don't have to do a name. You can do a picture on there. So I've done quite a few of these that are in picture style. Instead of taking something that you would then frame and hang on the wall, this not only becomes the picture, but it also becomes the frame, and they can hang it on the wall like that. And I've done quite a few of these and then sent them off and gifted them, which is why I don't have any to show you right now. And then the last one that I'm going to show you is actually just how to go through and do a bigger piece that you would, reflection, be able to hang on your wall. So that's a much bigger piece that I've done there. So Saturday is going to be all about looking at how you could make a customized, unique, individual drink coaster that you can then keep for yourself or gift onto somebody that you love. And I'll also take you through how to do a mobile and one of those plaques as well. The last couple of things is these are prototypes, I suppose you would call it, of bookmarks that I've been working on. They're incomplete projects, but I'm still working on them and figuring out whether I like them and how they work and so forth, but they're going on as well. I'll just move my polymer clay. And then the last bit that I'm going to show you is I've just got a piece of foam, and you're going to be using that foam to poke it through. I just got that from a foam store. It cost me $7. Really, really easy. All right. So if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. You don't have to come with any of those supplies. You can simply just join in, sit back, relax, learn with me, ask me questions while I'm here, and then you can set yourself up and revisit it at a later time if you so wish. I might have some pins with me so I can keep all my layers together. And I think that's it. That's all I wanted to go through you with. Yeah. All right. If you do have a question, please put it into the comments. Tag me in it. If you have anyone that you think would love to do the creative felting workshop and they're not in the group, just let them know that you want to add them to the group. Give them the group URL so that they can come over and join. Or I think it actually gives you the ability to be able to search for somebody and add them to the group, just as long as I'm a big believer in getting their permission, or just letting them know that you're going to be adding them to the group. But certainly invite them to come into the space and they can have a good time, okay? Thanks, guys, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye. See you on Saturday.